Have you ever felt like you're caught in a spiritual rut, doing all the right things but still feeling utterly drained, frustrated, and unfulfilled? Perhaps you wake up each morning with a heavy sigh, facing a day that feels more like a battle than a blessing. You know there's more to life, more to your faith, more to the divine potential God has placed within you, but it's just out of reach, clouded by the noise and demands of the world. It's a common struggle, this feeling of being stuck, of having your spiritual and physical energy constantly siphoned away by unseen forces. But what if I told you that in just 7 days, by embracing a handful of incredibly simple yet profound habits, you could begin to transform that exhaustion into invigorating purpose, that frustration into unshakable peace, and that feeling of being stuck into a dynamic journey of growth? Today, we're going to unlock a path to reclaim your energy, sharpen your focus, and build a spirit so resilient, nothing can break it. This isn't about grand gestures or superhuman feats. It's about subtle, consistent shifts that align your daily life with God's design for your flourishing. We often look for complex answers to our deeply felt problems, searching for a single, monumental revelation that will magically fix everything. But the truth, as it so often is, lies in the elegant simplicity of consistency. Our lives, both spiritual and secular, are not defined by the occasional mountaintop experience, but by the accumulation of countless small decisions made in the quiet moments of each day. Think about David, a man in his late 40s, who for years felt like he was constantly battling a spiritual drought. He attended church, prayed, read his Bible sporadically, but the joy and energy he once knew seemed to have evaporated. He felt perpetually behind, always reacting, never truly living proactively. This wasn't a moral failing, it was a structural one. His internal landscape had become overgrown with the weeds of distraction and neglect, leaving little room for the divine seeds of purpose to take root and flourish. The good news is, just as weeds can be removed and soil can be tilled, our internal landscape can be transformed. The journey begins not with what you do for God, but with how you steward the life He has given you. If you're ready to stop merely existing and start truly thriving, if you're tired of the frustration and ready for a tangible shift, then I invite you to join this community of transformation. Share your own stories below and let us know what specific struggles you're hoping to overcome. Your insights inspire us all. One of the greatest obstacles we face in our spiritual walk isn't external persecution or grand temptations, but the insidious, relentless assault on our minds. The constant barrage of negativity from news, social media, and even our own self-doubt can chip away at our resolve, leaving us feeling exposed and vulnerable. This is why the first principle of transformation is cultivating an unbreakable mindset. It's not about ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It's about making a conscious, deliberate decision that nothing, absolutely nothing, will break your spirit. Your mind is more than just a thinking machine. It is the control center of your entire being, the fortress where your faith resides. Just as a physical fortress needs strong walls and vigilant guards, your mind needs protection and intentional nourishment. Consider Sarah, a single mother of 3, who faced an unexpected job loss. The initial shock was devastating, and the temptation to succumb to despair was immense. Yet Sarah remembered a sermon about taking every thought captive, 2 Corinthians 10:5. Each morning, before the children awoke, she would spend 10 minutes intentionally feeding her mind, listening to uplifting worship music, reading a psalm, and journaling 3 things she was grateful for, no matter how small. She didn't deny the fear, but she actively chose not to dwell on it. This simple, consistent practice built her mental resilience, allowing her to approach job applications with a quiet confidence rather than frantic desperation. Her mind became a sanctuary, not a battleground. Beyond the internal fortress of the mind, another subtle but powerful obstacle to our spiritual vitality is the pervasive myth that physical well-being is separate from spiritual health. We often compartmentalize, believing that our devotion to God happens only in prayer or study, while our bodies are merely vessels to carry us through life. This couldn't be further from the truth. The neglect of our physical selves often manifests as mental fog, low energy, and increased susceptibility to stress, all of which hinder our ability to connect deeply with God and serve others effectively. Here's a surprising revelation. Consistent physical activity, even a modest daily walk, is not a luxury. It is a spiritual discipline. It's an act of stewardship over the temple God has given you. When you move your body, you are not just burning calories. You are boosting your mental clarity, sharpening your focus, and releasing the very chemicals that combat anxiety and depression. Imagine someone trying to build a cathedral with crumbling foundations and exhausted workers. It would be a futile endeavor. Similarly, trying to build a vibrant spiritual life on a foundation of physical depletion is an uphill battle. So, how do we apply this? Instead of viewing exercise as a chore, begin to see it as an offering, a way to honor God with your body, a means to clear your mind for deeper communion, and a source of strength for the journey ahead. A simple 30-minute walk each day, maybe while listening to a sermon or an uplifting podcast, can be a profound act of spiritual cultivation. The most profound turning point in our journey towards a transformed life often comes when we truly grasp that our physical being is intricately woven into our spiritual identity. The Bible tells us in 1 Corinthians 6:19-20, "Or do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? You are not your own, for you were bought with a price. So glorify God in your body." This isn't just a poetic phrase, it's a foundational truth. Our bodies are not disposable containers for our souls, but sacred spaces where the divine dwells. When we nourish our bodies, move them with intention, and respect their need for rest, we are, in essence, caring for the Holy Spirit's dwelling place within us. This realization shifts exercise from a burdensome obligation to a joyful act of worship. Think of it as a form of active prayer, a moving meditation where you connect with God through the very breath in your lungs and the strength in your limbs. This transformation isn't just about feeling better physically, it's about experiencing a deeper sense of reverence for yourself as a creation of God, and for the spirit that animates you. When David, our anchor story character, started incorporating a morning run into his routine, he initially did it for the physical benefits. But soon, he noticed something profound. The clarity he gained during those runs wasn't just physical, it was spiritual. Ideas for ministry, solutions to problems, and even comforting scriptures would come to him with startling clarity. His body became a conduit for divine insight, not just a tool for daily tasks. This new perspective, viewing physical well-being as a spiritual discipline, extends powerfully into the realm of routine and focused attention. We live in a world designed to fragment our focus, pulling our attention in a million different directions. Our phones buzz, emails demand immediate responses, and social media feeds constantly whisper for our engagement. This constant distraction is not just a nuisance, it's a spiritual drain. When our attention is fractured, so too is our ability to deeply connect with God, to truly listen, and to intentionally pursue our purpose. The powerful testimony of Maria, a busy executive and mother, illustrates this beautifully. For years, she felt overwhelmed by the sheer volume of demands on her time. She would start her day checking emails, then get pulled into social media, and before she knew it, half the morning was gone, leaving her feeling frenzied and behind. She learned to embrace a consistent daily routine, not as a rigid prison, but as a liberating framework. Her turning point came when she decided her attention was her most valuable resource, a gift from God to be stewarded. She began using time blocking, dedicating specific, uninterrupted periods to her most important tasks, including her morning quiet time with God. During these blocks, her phone was on airplane mode, notifications were off, and her mind was fully present. This wasn't just about productivity. It was about protecting her sacred space, creating an environment where deep focus and divine connection could flourish. She found that by eliminating distractions, she wasn't just getting more done. She was experiencing a profound sense of peace and purpose that had been missing for years. So how do we practically integrate these profound truths into our daily lives? The answer lies in simple, consistent steps that build momentum over time. First, commit to that unbreakable mindset. Each morning, before you face the day, declare that your mind is a fortress and you will guard its gates. Feed it with truth, gratitude, and positive affirmations. Second, embrace daily movement. It doesn't have to be an hour at the gym. It could be a brisk walk around your neighborhood, climbing stairs, or even stretching. The key is consistency, making it a non-negotiable part of your day, an act of worship for the temple of your body. Third, ruthlessly eliminate distractions. Your attention is a precious commodity. Set boundaries with your phone, dedicate specific times for deep work or prayer, and resist the urge to multitask. Fourth, develop a consistent daily routine. Start small, maybe just a morning routine for the first few days. Use time blocking for your most important activities. This isn't about perfection, but about creating a rhythm that supports your spiritual and personal growth. Finally, and crucially, commit to morning reading. Dedicate 10 to 15 minutes each morning to reading personal growth, leadership, or success-oriented content. Books that uplift your spirit and sharpen your mind. This intentional practice feeds your soul, cultivates a positive, growth-oriented mindset, and sets a productive, spirit-led tone for the rest of your day. This isn't just about accumulating knowledge. It's about inviting new perspectives and divine wisdom into your life, preparing your heart and mind for whatever God has in store. As we consolidate this journey, remember that transformation isn't an event, but a continuous process, a pilgrimage of intentional growth. We've seen how David moved from a place of spiritual exhaustion to vibrant purpose, how Sarah built resilience in the face of adversity, and how Maria reclaimed her focus and peace. Their stories and countless others echo a timeless truth. God has already equipped you with everything you need to live a life of profound purpose and unwavering faith. The 5 habits we've discussed, cultivating an unbreakable mindset, prioritizing daily exercise, eliminating distractions, developing a consistent routine, and committing to morning reading, are not just secular productivity hacks. They are spiritual disciplines, pathways to steward the life God has entrusted to you, to honor Him with your body, mind, and spirit. Imagine your life a year from now, if you faithfully applied these principles. Imagine the clarity, the energy, the unshakable peace that would permeate your days. You would be living not just by fleeting motivation, but by disciplined devotion, a life deeply rooted in God's truth and flowing with divine purpose. This isn't just about changing what you do, it's about changing who you are, becoming the person God designed you to be. If this message has resonated with you, if you feel a stirring in your spirit to embrace this journey of transformation, then we invite you to share this message with someone else who might be feeling stuck. Let's create a ripple effect of positive change, inspiring one another to live lives of purpose, power, and profound connection. What's one specific habit you're committed to starting this week? Share your pledge in the comments below, and let's encourage each other on this incredible journey.